Welcome, my name is Matt, aka Road Jedi 88. We are getting back into Super Mario Land from the classic Nintendo, or Game Boy, I mean. Going to World 3, Level 1. And I did not remember until I got back into this just how much longer the levels get. They get a little bit longer. Remember, you have a time clock counting down. I believe that was one of the, now that I remember, it was definitely one of the many challenges. One, they expanded the maps a little bit longer each level, and they would throw in additional new objectives, more enemies getting in the way, trying to slow you down. And this was like the only pipe I could find to crawl down into. If you ever hear the music speeding up a little bit faster, I definitely would, I would not object recommending taking advantage of something I did not have when I was 5 years old on my Game Boy when this first came out. Take advantage of that out-game Switch emulator progress save that they offer, because if you need to kind of call back a little bit as you move along and that time clock is counting down, it might help kind of save you, make sure you get to the end of the level. I mean, no one considers that handicap them. Don't worry about what they say. If it's what you need, it's what you need. It's been like over 10 years since I last played this. So. See, like right here, I was trying to get the sunflower seed to shoot down in between that little crevice. And I was just having absolutely no luck whatsoever. But that right there, I was wasting some time. My countdown is nearly 200. 60 seconds a minute. You do the math. I mean, I got a little over 3 minutes. About 3 minutes at this point now. And I'm sitting here getting hung up on that money bet, or those coins, and then this thing was kind of trying to suppress me from moving forward. So, took me a minute. And I finally got moving, but I lost some time at doing that. So that's one thing, that is one common feature about Mario, is as much as they throw all kinds of stuff to want to distract you, but objectively, you want to make sure you get to the end of the level before that timer runs out. So just because they're throwing all kinds of stuff to distract you with, it's almost a test of, do I really need it? What's more important, getting this coin or getting to the end of the level? And Super Mario Brothers is kind of the same way too. I don't know about the other Mario games. Super Mario Land and Super Mario Brothers are about the only ones I've ever played. I definitely, like I said before, I have every interest in checking out the others, if they're worth it. But there's a wide array of Mario games. I don't even know which ones to start with outside of Super Mario Land and Super Mario Brothers. If y'all have any recommendations, I'm all for checking them out. They would have to be within the emulators of the Switch 2 for now. If there's any that's outside the Switch 2 emulators, I mean, you still make the recommendation. It might give me a little bit of time to get around to get my hands on them. I got a lot of other games I'm trying to get my hands on too. Star Wars related, or Zelda, etc. When it comes to Zelda, my wife and I are in the process of exploring Breath of the Wild. That's a new one for us. And then we need to check out the one after that. but all in good time. I have some of the older Zelda games I need to check out. Anyways, as you heard, that music got to speeding up, so I had to just start focusing on moving forward. I did do that progress save I suggested, because hey, I don't care if you don't think it's handicapping. I needed to get to the end. That was the point. And I remember being 5 years old, battling, getting to the end of the map repeatedly, just banging my head up against the wall, through almost breaking my Game Boy, not because it frustrated me. Hey, that progress save that the Switch 2 offers with the emulators, it's kind of a lifesaver. So, I managed to pull it off when I was a kid. I've gone about 10 years not playing this, so, you know, I made it to the end. You saw what happened. And I'm not the only one. There's others. So, and for those who, you know, question whether it's okay to do it, hey, you got someone that's like over 30 years of gaming, you just witnessed, do it. It's okay. Do it if you need to, okay? Don't let these pro-egotistical elite gamers taunt you out of it. If you need it, you need it. Anyways, next is Super Mario Land World 3 Level 2. So first thing I'm going to point out real quick. We started off with 400 seconds on the clock. 60 seconds a minute. That's 6 minutes and 40 seconds they're giving us. And I believe that's been the case for each of the maps, each of the levels. So, while, yeah, I say be pushing forward as hard as you can. Do what you got to do if you are the kind of person that needs that extra boost, help, whatever. But if you want, I still encourage challenging yourself to see if you can do it without the progress save. The only reason why I'm doing it is because when I upload off my Switch, because I don't have a capture card just yet, I can only get 30-second increments at a time, and I have to leave the game to make sure that it was a clean 30 seconds. That aside, that's kind of how I'm ending up with so many progress saves. It's just simply for that reason. I still encourage pushing to try to run these maps without progress save and see how well you can do. But it's not just only a matter of beating each level before the timer runs out, but it's also a matter, it's also a test, a challenge to see by the time you get to World 4 Level 3, by the end of that, just how many points you can rack up. And you rack up the points by collecting the coins, you rack up the points by breaking bricks, hitting the non-breakable bricks, collecting the collectible items, recollecting collectible items you even don't need, but you can still collect them. It gives you points. And whatever time you have left on the clock, all the more reason to try to boost your speed as much as you can. You get points. But, so, I mean, yeah, they throw all these distractions. You want to try to collect as much points as you can, but you also want to get to the end of the level before the time's out. So, that Eastern Island, that first level that clearly was like an Easter Island situation, man, that one, and I think, as I recall as a kid, that one always did kind of give me troubles too. But we're going to move forward. There's only one secret that I know of in this level, that I can think of. We're going to continue moving forward. Okay, that pipe up there, we want to go inside that one. I believe that was what, the second one we've seen? in the order, I mean, the Deja Vu was a lot. But we're gonna jump in here. You can throw that sunflower seed around, and it'll help you collect the coins. That's partly what was get me in trouble with the clock in that last one, is I was trying to get it down that one little crevice, and it just was not fitting through. And I question now if I could have jumped down and through it. I'm trying to remember if I used to do that as a kid. But that's a very tight, narrow space with not much of a gap to make sure you land on the ledge by the time you get to the bottom, without the risk of falling down that hole that I was hung up on. But anyways, when we come back out, it brings us back out to the same point we were at. Sometimes, especially in like Super Mario Brothers, they'll like bump you either further ahead the map or bring you backwards a bit. Some pipes will kind of cost you, and then some pipes will boost you in terms of where you come out location-wise in the level map. I'm at 190 seconds, a little under that. Is it convenient that I'm doing these 30-second increment upstreams? I end up with a opportunity for a progress reload if I needed to. You can ride the rocks, surf the rocks. I don't think I've ever gone rock surfing. I've done a few mountain climbings when I lived in Albuquerque for a bit. But I'd slid down mountains, but I never really went rock surfing. Houston, we didn't exactly have mountains. And you don't exactly get tidal waves in Galveston for surfing. At least not successful ones. Honestly, the people that try to surf out there kind of look pathetic. It's like the worst chance for waves ever. Now, I missed that secret door, the secret exit door on that last one. And as I pointed out in the World 2 video, it'll just shoot you straight to the next level. Now, this time I made it to the bonus exit. It's just a chance to get more lives, as well as a reboost in your size and ammunition if you somehow ended up getting hurt in the process. But if you notice, each level they make the objective to get into those bonus exits a little more trickier and trickier to get to. They're not as easy as they were in the first level. Moving on to World 3, Level 3. So now here at this level, we got a bunch of floating ledges we got to keep up with. And just gotta keep on the move. 400 seconds again. Make sure that plant is out of the way before you go in this pipe. There are two secret pipes that I know of on this level. We'll work our way around here. Like I said, if you believe you can do it quick enough to keep up with the time, definitely don't miss the opportunity to try to catch as much of these little side distractions that they've set up for us. But once again, also be mindful of the time, weigh the difference. We'll come back out here up at the top. Kind of a different spot now. No, actually, I think that was the same spot. Work our way forward. I believe you could have run jump over there, and I think that's one of the things that this whole world has been challenging us on, is the idea of run jumps. I have to admit, I feel like the running and the run jumps were a little bit better on the Game Boy than they were on the Switch just now. It could just simply be that I was more used to doing it off the Game Boy for so many years. That could be part of it. I don't know what, in terms of control concept, what the big difference was. Because the control buttons they got running off the Switch, it really isn't too far off of what it would have been like on the Game Boy, except Game Boy is thinner than the Switch. Watch out for the boulder. Now, to take out this boss, you're going to need to do a little bit of a rock surf. Like a millisecond rock surf. Because once again, we don't directly kill the bosses. We got to get around them and hit whatever is behind them that triggers their death. You see, I had a hard time with that run jump. That's what I was saying in a moment, but I was just not saying. Like, I can do it on the Switch, but it just doesn't come natural to me the way it did for the Game Boy. I fell down that hole. Thank you, Mario. Oh, Daisy. Wow, she got even uglier from the rat. Went from being a rat to an arachnid. Even Black Widow was better than that. I'm just kidding. And that is World 3. We will be getting into World 4 now. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos, comments, questions, suggestions down below. And World 4 will be the final world for Super Mario Land. I believe there's a second Super Mario Land. I'm going to have to take a look at that one because I don't remember if I've ever played that one at all. I may have just played the first one. But I'll check it out and see about maybe doing a streaming of that as well. But like I said, thank you for following the channel and the video, and we'll see you in World 4. Thank you for following.